Okay, now we're recording. So here's the good morning. It's Friday. Okay, let's just get a quick snapshot back of what we have done. We're talking about creating pigtails. Okay, and the tools that you will need for this lab are side cutters, strippers, wire strippers, and linesman pliers. Okay, that's all you need for this lab. Well, we need to have that posted on YouTube anyways. And then you are going to you're going to be provided with the wires, all right, and you're going to be provided with the wire connectors. Right. Now I'm going to. This is as I was showing, because I have turned the recording a little bit late, so I'm not going to repeat everything. So whoever was present online, they're going to get the first part of this. And the next thing, we're going to continue with the wires being stripped. This is a wrong way of stripping the wire. Okay? Just a quick kind of a snap back. Let's say you have two wires here. There's one wire and there's the other wire. And here is the normal invisible line that kind of goes in line with these two, perpendicular to the base of whatever you're standing on. Now, you're going to bring one wire on top of the first one, and you're going to swing it out from that normal angle, and the other one, swing it out the same way, same angle, and then you just have to sculpt them into place. If you don't do that, if you just do one of those, and then the other one you leave straight, you're going to end up with something like this, which is going to be one wire wrapped around the other. That is going to be a bad connection. Also, what might happen is that if you don't trim the tip, you might end up with one wire longer than the others. And as the thread inside, the thread of the wire nut grabs somewhere here, that wire can puncture the front here, the tip of the wire nut. And that's what that part of wire is going to be exposed, and it can touch other wires. Okay. Now, let's do some pigtails here. I'm going to get two wires, and I'm going to strip them this time. All right. Cut one wire. Cut the other wire. I'll just use the same color. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to use my wire stripper. Oh, you know what? When it comes to stripping, strip as much as you can. So let's see. I'm just going to strip a little bit longer than you need to. About this much here. Oops, that's not the right. See, this wire doesn't like it. Okay, now this blue wire likes the proper grooves on this stripper. So let's see if we have damaged any of the wires and the part of connector. No, we have a nice undamaged. We have nice undamaged conductor here. Okay. Now we're going to strip the other wire. Okay. And what are we going to do? Remember this this part here? Align these two nice and straight. And then, because we're going to have to turn the conductors clockwise, righty-tighty, remember that? We're going to bring this one here on top of that one and swing it out of alignment from the normal. And then the other one, we're going to swing it out in the same angle. And then all you have to do is twist them, and they're going to fall in place by themselves if you keep twisting them. Okay. All right, nicely even braided. See if the microscope is going to show. Nice even braid. Okay, see, that's how it happened. Now, then we're going to have to make sure that this thing is not too long, because after the wire nut is installed, we don't want any of the bare copper sticking out from underneath the wire nut. Okay? All has to be covered. So you can use your strippers, or I prefer using my side cutters. We're going to have to cut that. And that gives us a nice straight tip here, okay? Now these should be aligned. The insulation should be aligned. If it's just like a minimal difference, that's fine, but don't get anything ridiculous. And we have a nice straight tip here for the wire nut to grab onto. Okay, so here's the thread. Can you see the thread there? Yeah, there's a thread. It's going to grab on to that, and it's going to have actually something to grab on. My fingernails. It's going to grab this this tip nice and straight. Okay, so where are we? Here we are. All right, so now we're just going to apply the wire nut and twist. Now, when we're twisting, the twist should be nice and strong. If you have a little bit of a twist with the wires, that's fine. But don't, I'm going to ask you, please don't do that. Don't kill the twist. It's going to be, there's no need for doing this, okay? As long as the wires are pre-twisted, this thing is grabbed, and we have a pigtail that consists of 2 wires. I'm just going to cut this thing because this is going to serve as our demo purpose, and that's how you're going to bring this for evaluation. When we evaluate your work, first thing I'm going to look is to make sure that there's now no bare copper sticking from underneath the wire nut. Okay? Then I'm going to undo the connection, and I'm going to make sure that the twist is actually going the righty-tighty. See, there is also there's a bite mark on the wire nut. All right. It has to be righty-tighty, not lefty-loosey. Okay? Because if you twist the wires the other way, like counterclockwise, and if you're going to try to install the wire nut clockwise, those wires are going to get untwisted by the wire nut. So that's a very important concept. Okay, so and then we're just going to inspect if there's nothing sticking, there's nothing punctured here, and we're going to inspect the twist if this is nicely evenly braided twist here. Okay? And we're going to make sure that the jacketing for both wires is aligned together. Now let's go with 3 wires. Okay, here's 1, 2. I'm just going to cut myself a 3rd one. Just give me a sec here. I just grabbed a bunch of wires from our lab. Now that should be fine. Okay. Now we get the 3 wires. That's the second thing you're going to provide for evaluation. So again, we're going to strip the wire. One, 2, and 3. Come on. Okay. And we're going to make sure that they're nice and straight. If they go out of alignment, they're going to fight you, and trust me, they're going to win. So you have to be in control during the whole process. So remember, again, we're making two groups. One group and one group. So now we're going to have a group of 2 on one side and a group of 1 on the other side. So now I'm aligning the jacket thing here. And then I'm going to grab that here strongly, firmly. And I'm going to start the twist by taking it out of line from the normal under a certain angle, just angle enough. And then the other one, I'm going to do the same thing under the same angle. And then all we have to do is twist and sculpt. You might help yourself with the linesman pliers. Now, again, we have a nicely braided twist. Right? Nicely braided twist. And then the next thing what we're going to do is trim the tip. Should I get a little bit better? Here. Focus. We're going to trim the tip, well, somewhere about here. Again, we need the tip to be nice and square. Where's my microscope view? Nice and square, so the wire knot has something to grab onto. And the insulation, the jacket thing is aligned. They are aligned. Okay. And then we're just going to grab our wire knot and install it, making sure that the twist is with the same direction of the wire knot. See, the wire knot is going to cover all the bare copper. It is an art. How tight do we twist? Just so we can feel that the wire knot is biting into the wire. But don't kill it. If you just kill it, you're going to start wrapping things up, and you're going to end up twisting these wires here instead of, without knowing if these wires are twisted or not. Okay, so here is the 3-wire pigtail. And I'm just going to cut this off. And this is going to be for our demonstration purposes. Did I lose my, well, here is my 2-wire. Okay, here's my 3-wire. Okay, let's get 4-wire. Should we get, let's get green wires here. So we're going to cut a little piece. 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4. Okay. And we're going to strip the wire using the wire strippers. Try to strip it a little bit longer so you have something to cut off. There's 1. And 2. And a 3. Everything's an art. And a 4. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to align them. Align the jacketings. Align the jacketings. Align the jacketing. All right, so now they are nicely aligned. Okay. Again, remember that we're making two groups. So now we're going to have a group of two and a group of two. And this one on the righty is going to go on, excuse me, on top of the one that's on the left. Okay. All right, so two groups. Here's one group, here's the other group. Put the one on top of the other, and I'll take it out of alignment from the normal. And then you have to do the same thing with the other one. If you don't swing out enough, you're not going to be able to grab onto it. And if you swing too much out of the angle, then out of alignment, you will have a hard time twisting them. So how far do you need to misalign them from the normal? It depends on your hands and depends on whether you're using hands or you're going to use the lineman pliers. Okay. Now, once they are started like that, group of two, again, just align them. See, I'm just going to try to show it. Yeah, see, they're just sculpting them. They align themselves. See, I'm just doing it slowly now here. They align themselves as you know, if you started well, you are going to have a nice, evenly braided twist. Okay, and look at that. The jacketings are aligned enough. You're never going to get a perfect alignment, right? You just don't, you just have to make sure that the jacketings are not really way out of line here. Right? And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to trim the tip using our side cutters. Ooh, right? And we are going to install the wire knot. Okay. There we go. So here is the 4-wire. I'm just going to cut that. So it's just for the demo purposes. 4-wire pigtail. Okay, so now that's what we're going to have to present. 2-wire pigtail, 3-wire pigtail, and a 4-wire pigtail. Where's the 4-wire? Sorry, 2-wire. There are two what is it? There are 3 kinds of people in this world. The ones that can count and the ones they can't. All right. Anyways, so here's 2-wire pigtail again. Here's 3-wire pigtail, and here is a 4-wire pigtail. If you think it's simple, think again. Yes, it's going to take you to the end of the lab to accomplish this whole thing properly. And see, I've done it many times, so I was able to just demo it in a short time. And then again, when I inspect, let's say the 3 one here, when we inspect that, I'm just going to make sure that there is no copper sticking out from underneath the wire nut, and that there is no puncture here. Just want to make sure that this wire nut is not punctured by any of the wires. Then I'm going to remove the wire nut. How many wires can you combine? You just have to, that depends on the gauge of the wire and depends on the size of the wire nut. You have to consult the sticker on the box from the our previous lecture. Okay? And I'm going to make sure that there's a nice even twist, that we don't have anything like that happening. Okay, and I have to show that again. We don't want, oops, I'm just going to do that wrong. We don't want any of that. which means one wire is straight and the other one is wrapped around it. That's wrong, very wrong. Okay. Then I'm going to make sure that the tip is trimmed. Right. I'm going to make sure that the twist is in the right direction. That's not against the wire nut tightening. It tightens this way, so that means the twist has to be done this way as well. I can't say it enough. Right? So that's what we're going to do during the lab. Now, the question of pre-twist or not to pre-twist, here I'm just going to give you some food for thought. How can I demonstrate this? Let's say these markers are the wires. Okay. Now, if you have two and if you don't pre-twist, you're still going to have point of contact with the thread of the wire nut. You get three wires combined, you're still going to have point of contact with all the wires by the wire nut. Now let's say you have more than three. There is a possibility, can we do this? There is a possibility that you're going to have something like this. Let's just get a focus here. That you're going to get something like this, that there are three wires aligned, just like that. And you're going to have a point of contact here, you're going to have a point of contact here, you're going to have a point of contact here, but the wire in the middle is just going to be held by pressure by all the other three wires. That is not a very happy situation. Now, there is a chance that this wire might slide out. So I would say to pre-twist or not to pre-twist, my advice would be always pre-twist. And I'm going to come up with I'm going to post the rubric during the weekend. There is no paperwork involved with this lab. You're going to have a demo. Well, you just had this demo right now. You're going to have a little short lecture with your instructor on how to do things the way we did this year. And you're going to just hit your desk and get the wires and create those pigtails for us. Hopefully everybody's going to get 101% on that. Any questions? As many as the moret allows. Yeah, okay, so there's the answer. Yeah. Moret, did I spell the moret wrong? Let me just, in the last class here, let me just quickly find the spelling of the moret, because I think I spelled it wrong. I spelled it M-O. Yeah. Moret. Moret connector. Yeah, I spelled it with the O. It's actually M-A. Thank you. Yeah, just how do we get 101%? Well, you don't. It's an arbitrary thing. Basically, 101% means that you can do it with your eyes closed. And if somebody wakes you up in the middle of the night, so I need everybody's address, so I can just knock at your door in the middle of the night and make a pigtail, right? See what happens. Okay. All right. So, any questions about the pigtails or the morets, the wire nuts or wire connectors? Please don't. Please don't. Okay, well, yeah, no, I won't. Okay, so I wish you all happy Friday. I know I'm going to have a happy Friday because it's Friday, and Fridays are supposed to be happy, so I'm going to make darnest that my Friday is happy. And stay healthy and safe, and I will see you when I see you. And thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more after these messages. Okay. Thank you.